Hey babies, this is Cecily with Down to Earth Divinity. It's been a while and I was a little bit of a hiatus. It was very much needed. Life happens and now I'm back and I'm overjoyed to be back and sharing some readings with you whenever prompted. So today we are reading with the Enchanted Map Tarot and have a new little setup here, and let's get started. So the first card is Stuck in the Mud. We've got an image of an elephant stuck in the mud, but there is a little bird on its back. And at first glance, this card appears to kind of have a negative connotation. But really, this card is about slowing down and taking the opportunity when the universe or when life slows you down to look around you, to take a breath, to be present, to, as Tosha Silver says, in letting the divine take the lead, outrageous openness, letting the divine take the lead, that all delays are in divine order or may be in divine order. In other words, whenever life kind of slows you down and says, hey, you know, just be present. It's not necessarily the right time to act or the right time to go through all of these, you know, motions, you know, running on autopilot, being in survival mode instead of just like really being present and living your most authentic life, deeply connected inside. And that's really the key to living that way, is your connection, you know, with the divine, however you define that or don't define that. Maybe you can just define that as with yourself. And so that's what this card is about. Our next card is Commitment. So this card is about, again, your connection with your highest self, with the divine, and how that is able to be manifested in your commitment to things in your life, in your self-care, in your relationships, in future relationships and friendships, your root people. There is this really amazing monologue. You can even look it up from Medea, Tyler Perry's Medea character, where she talks about, you know, there are people that fall into all these, well, 3 different categories: your root people, your leaf people, your root people, your branch people, and your leaf people. And this is kind of, I feel that this card is really about deeply committing to yourself first and foremost, to your relationship with your divine, which are one and the same, and how that manifests in your connection with your root people. And this doesn't have to be like a commitment necessarily romantically. It could be to family, it can be to your self-care, it can be to, it could be to another person. But whatever it is a huge blessing on your life. It is something that is already present in your life in many ways, but it also indicates something that is on its way. Field of Dreams. This is all about watering. I'm sorry, my overhead light is reflecting on these cards a little bit. This is all about watering your garden and seeing the seeds grow. And in this image, the seeds are manifest as, you know, these eggs that these fairies are sitting on, which is so indicative of new life. Something is about to hatch, something is about to be born, but now is the time where we are creating, gestating, so to speak, imagining, co-creating with the universe, our path forward, what we want to manifest in divine order and in divine timing, for ourselves, the highest. And the way to do that is to surrender the outcome as much as possible to the highest. And we can't always know what the highest is from our perspective, because we're having this human experience, which is perfect. We're supposed to be having a human experience. But that surrender part of it is just surrendering it to God. Let the highest outcome unfold for myself and everybody involved. And sometimes that involves endings. Sometimes that involves, detaching from the way that we thought things were going to be. Sometimes it involves releasing illusions of what we thought was. Sometimes it's not always easy to do that, because we live in a very control. I have to control everything. I have to control the outcome. I'm attached, that attachment thing to the outcome. But there's so many solutions, so much magic, so much manifestation in divine order and in divine timing that has absolutely nothing to do with control. Our minds, our ego think that we have to control things. But that's never been the case. That has never been the case. An infinite amount of beautiful and gorgeous and abundant, resplendent things happen every second in our bodies, in the universe, on this planet, in the lives of everyone around us, without being controlled or manipulated in any way. They just unfold and manifest naturally. And that's what this card is all about. And that is, I believe, what's in divine order for you. I love this card. This is the first time I pulled this card today, as I was kind of like reviewing these a little bit. This is such a beautiful card. But it's, as you can see, it says wide open. There's a little bit of the full energy from the Rider-Waite deck in this card, and it's just a openness, just perfectly segueing from the last card, that releasing attachment to outcome and just being open to the highest possibility. Because a lot of times we can contract ourselves and limit ourselves in our desires and our vision for ourselves, or how a situation may turn out, or a relationship, or a job, or something that you want to create. We can limit it. And this card is reminding you, you are unlimited. If God is unlimited, you are unlimited. You are infinite and God is infinite. Therefore, all things are possible in your life. And one of the beautiful prayers from, again, that book, which has been so pivotal in my life, Outrageous Openness, Letting the Divine Take the Lead by Tosha Silver. I always ask, one of the prayers in there is, let whatever needs to come, come, and whatever needs to go, go. If it is not meant for me, let it be blocked. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but whatever is not meant for me, let it be blocked. Whatever it is, let it unfold naturally in peace, ease, and grace. Because that way it's always taken care of. And you also know that something can unfold for your life that's much bigger than the mind can ever fully grasp. And sometimes we forget that we deserve good things. And you do, and we all do. And there's so much infighting and negativity in this country and on the planet right now. And that is a very purposeful strategy by beings who do not have our highest and greatest good in mind. Their desire is control and power over other people, and they are more than willing to harm people and the earth to that end. So just remember just remember to think, feel, and know for yourself, and that all beings are part of the divine, even ones that have forgotten who they are. No, sometimes I promise you that's hard. You know, don't be hard on yourself when that's hard to remember, because it's hard to remember for us all from time to time. It doesn't mean that we don't need to speak up and speak out. That's also one of the meanings of this card, speaking up and speaking out your truth. But, you know, remember who you are and what you are. Don't let anybody else tell you who you are and what your intention is. And know that you are deserving of infinite blessings. And you were born with that legacy, and that cannot be taken away from you. So here we are, this last card, the magic stream. This reminds me of the work of Abraham Hicks, if anybody who's watching is familiar with that. And of course, whenever I think of, you know, Abraham talks about, you know, going downstream is going with the flow of things. And then going upstream is just like fighting everything, fighting your life, fighting your emotions, fighting your humanity, fighting your divinity, control, control, control. And, you know, there are times where we have to take action, you know, in our jobs or in our lives, in our family. But this is just, you know, reminding you that the magic stream of divinity and of power and of magic and of manifestations is innate to you. Like, you can relax a little bit into that. And that's what Abraham talks about when they talk about going downstream. And then I always think of that, you know, Abraham describing source or God as just this positive stream of energy that flows throughout the universe, that everybody is a part of. Sometimes we can pinch that off and forget that, as well as, you know, that lullaby. I don't know if it's a lullaby, but row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That's kind of a personal mantra of mine. Just kind of remember, when I get too stressed out or too much in resistance about, if it's something about specific or just in general, just to remember just to flow, 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 flow. And then this is just a reminder that your energy, sorry, my phone is not focusing the best today. Your energy and power is just constantly flowing. You don't have to try so hard when it's something that's just innate to you. You know, and this is always available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it's part of what you are. It's not something you can get. It's something you already are. This is also a reminder that, you know, when you desire something so hard, and we have all been there, we most certainly have, but when you desire something so hard, you work on something so hard, just pushing, sometimes you can push it away, just because energetically what you're conveying to the universe, which is attraction based, is I don't have this. And I have to try to manipulate and control in order to get it. And what this card is reminding you is everything you desire has already unfolded, as long as it's in your highest, if that's what your intention is for yourself and for others. So relax a little bit. The timing we can't control. The way it happens we can't control. But the openness, back to this card, the being open, the self-care, the watering the seeds, the planting the seeds, the committing and loving ourselves, the, you know, stopping for a moment and just being present. You know, there are things we can control, and then the rest of it we're not supposed to control. It's not on us. It's too much. And that's what, you know, God and our spiritual teams are for. And so this is just a reminder of that. I'm so thankful to be able to be here with you today. I send you much love, babies, to you and yours. This is Down to Earth Divinity. Have a beautiful day.